YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Crystal and behind me is a portion of my house. So in today's video, I'm going to take you on a before renovation tour so you can see the outside and see all the different stuff that has been troubling me and what I plan to change. All right, and stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to share with you a couple of tips, or I shouldn't even say tips, but just a couple of ways and things for you to think about if you're trying to figure out how you could pay for a renovation like this or one that you're thinking of. So I'll share some of the things that I'm doing. All right, let's get started. All right, so what I'm going to attempt to do is many things at one time. I'm going to try to walk, talk, and film as I show you around the outside of the house. There's not a lot to show, but I just want to kind of give you a picture of what's the problem and why I'm going in the direction of vinyl siding. So currently I have wood siding on the house. This is I think it's considered the west side of my house, but anyway, this side of the house gets the most direct sunlight, and so you can see here that the wood siding, this is all wood, and subsequently the paint is chipping, and the paint chips regularly every 3 to 5 years, which then forces me to have to get the house painted. So one of the disadvantages of having a wood sided house is that anything that likes to eat wood sees your home as a smorgasbord. So last year and starting this year, I had a big issue with bees, and you can see right here the bees were starting to create another hive on my house. So thankfully my handy dandy exterminator came out. So these awnings too, while they are a signature, I think, of my home, you know, it's an easy way for people to identify the house with the green awnings, that you can see they're kind of weathered. I'm going to miss them though because they keep a lot of the sun and heat out of the house. You can see some more peel and paint there. That's not very attractive. So it's definitely time. These two awnings here, the icicles have really done a job on them, and these icicles really come from my gutters. I have more icicles than usual because I have leaf guard gutters, and so they create the icicles. When the weather starts to break, the icicles fall off and they do this crazy damage to the awnings. So between that and just normal wear and tear, unfortunately I got to say bye-bye to them. I like them because they keep a lot of the sun and heat out of the house, but I'm going to replace them with shutters. The only one that I think I'm going to keep, and we're going to see how it looks once they get started, I think we're going to keep the ones that are right over the door, because this is the shelter for my packages and for people, you know, if you come into the house and it's raining or something like that. But this is my favorite one because this one keeps, like I said, the sun out of the house. It keeps it off my furniture. But we got to say goodbye to them. So I'm going to replace those with shutters. So here's where I had my little beehive last year. So the carpenter bees had burrowed into the side of the house, and they were actually showing up in the house. So periodically we just look up and there'd be a bee flying in the basement or in my bedroom, anywhere. So the exterminator got rid of them, but I know if I don't do something about it, they're going to come back because they like wood. On this side of my house, even though you have a lot of paint peeling and stuff, this side doesn't get as much sun as the other side. But it's still pretty bad. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing, but I'm gonna show y'all. and you can see how bad the paint is chipping. It's just overdue. I should have really gotten something done last year, but with all the pandemic stuff, I was like, it's a pandemic. Talk to me after the pandemic. But you can see with these brown spots, what happens is this ivy that's below, the ivy starts to grow up the house. Thankfully, my landscaper pulls it down when he sees it. But again, because it's wood, I think that's why it burrows in so much. I am so looking forward to getting this done and not ever having to do this again. Just a house washing once a year to get the grime off. All right, now we are coming into the inside of the house. And when you first walk in the front door, you pretty much enter my living room. And so here's the big issue, which is this wall right here. So this wall is cutting off, as you can see, the living room from the dining room, and behind this wall is the kitchen. So my plan is for this wall to be completely gone. And just so you know, this wall here with the beautiful swan picture, this wall is a load-bearing wall, so it's going to require a beam. And then we enter my tiny dining room. And so again, I'm very grateful for this space and to have it. And this room has been the source of a lot of good family events and functions, but you can see it's very small. I have a bistro-sized table in here and really just enough room for you to walk through. So this wallpaper, which is original to the house, this is going. So all of this is going, to my mother's delight, because she hates it. But this was the one element of wallpaper I really liked, so I kept it all these years. And this opening, this has been an evolution. When I first bought the house, this opening was not here. So it was just a solid wall. So I did get a chance at some point with this first level of renovations to open up this wall. So there's a little bit more connectivity between the kitchen and the dining room. But I really want this wall to be gone and for all this to be opened up. Mainly so that I can get a larger dining room table. I can only seat two. We've gotten more at this table, but it's not comfortable. So you know that the kitchen is the heart of the home. So what happens is everybody gathers in this teeny weeny kitchen and my teeny weeny dining room, and anyone that's in the living room feels completely cut off. There you have it. You've seen the outside, you've seen the inside, you kind of know what we're doing. But I promised you some bonus stuff at the end. I want to talk about finances really quick. How do you pay for a project like this? I did not go the traditional refinance or home equity line of credit like a lot of people do. I saved, not all of it, but I saved a lot of it, and I'm still saving. And I'm getting extra money to put away by doing a couple side hustles. So I make t-shirts, I sew for people, but one of the main side hustles that I use is I DoorDash. So you guys are familiar with DoorDash, Uber Eats, that kind of stuff. So Grubhub, all of those. I am a delivery person for one of them. I love it because it really has no commitment. I do it when I can, when I feel like it, and I only deliver where I want, so if I want to drive across town, I do. If I want to stay in my community, I do. So I have choices there, but it's a nice, easy way to make some extra money in your spare time, and you're not being committed. The second thing is check your local municipality. A lot of times that they have grants and programs that are available for homeowners to help with sprucing things up, maintenance, and for home improvements. They don't pay for stuff like jacuzzis and pools, but definitely things like what I got to get done with painting or siding or something like that. The third and final tip I have for you is if your house is over 50 years old like mine, my house was built in 1949, check your local historical society, because often they have programs and grants that are available for you to restore and maintain your historical home. And when it's over 50 years old, that makes it historical. So check there. I tapped into all three of those. They are not funding the complete job, but a big part of it, and keep me out of that high interest debt. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you've enjoyed the tour of my house and to see what I'm going to be doing in this whole renovation thing. If you liked it, please hit that like button, give me a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to my channel and continue to follow me as I go through this journey, please hit that subscribe button in the lower corner somewhere on this bar. Hit the button. And please leave me comments. Share with me your ideas if you have some things for me to think about, or if you've done some renovations and you want to give me some insight. I'd love to hear from you. But interact with me. That's the big thing. You're part of my community. You're making this a safe endeavor for me and hold my hand through this. So I appreciate you. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.